Good evening, folks. If you are watching after the fact, then please do feel free to skip ahead to qualifying, and as we get the rest of the drivers into the lobby and everything else set up for the stream. It's round 3 of APPF1 Tier 2, and we're heading to Australia this evening, so do not go anywhere.
You ready, SUMO?
Yes, I'm just about ready. I wish my phone would stop playing me up. I'm gonna try and sort everything out. Stop doing that. It keeps like closing my keypad while I'm trying to type.
I'll post the stream for you, mate, in Discord.
Way ahead of you. Oh wait, I posted a link to my channel. Shit. I mean, it does the same job. There we go.
That's the one.
Very behind. I spent time catching up on a bunch of stuff that I hadn't done, and then yes, forgot to do a bunch of other stuff. I don't even have water, but we're gonna have to go without it. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to APPF1 Tier 2 for tonight's dose of racing action. I'm Sumo, your commentator this evening, and I'm joined, as always, by my amazing co-commentator Ghost. How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. It's been a busy week, but what better way to chill out than to watch an exciting Tier 2 race around Australia, which will hopefully be less pandemonium than the elite race we had on Sunday.
Oh dear. I've not seen anything about the elite race, although I hear there was many a steward report.
Indeed, there was.
As far as I know. But anyway, yes, so it is round 3 and we are in Australia for tonight's Tier 2 race. The Albert Park circuit is a 5.278 kilometre circuit with 16 corners, with 10 to the right and 6 to the left. This circuit, while not too closed in, is actually a street circuit and can be rather tricky at the best of times. Expect action into turn 1, 3, or turn into turns 1 and 3, down towards the fast left right of 11 and 12, and the run down to turn 13. Thoughts on tonight's venue, Ghost?
Very, very tricky circuit this year. This one, the game classifies it as very easy. I do not know what they're on. It's an absolute nightmare, this track. This year, it's so easy to spin out at multiple places. It's so easy to invalidate quali laps, especially in Sector 1. It's just an absolute hellscape, to be honest, Sumo. Very, very difficult. I'm sure we'll see plenty of action, but also plenty of mistakes from our drivers today.
Yes, certainly so. And speaking of our drivers this evening, let's take a quick glance over the championship standings. I normally write all this down beforehand, but I haven't managed to do so. So let's take a look then. Daphne Hillis then, after Lawrence's huge crash huge crash last week at Monza, means that Daphne Hillis is now your championship leader on 44 points, whereas Lawrence laments down in P6, only on 23, the points he scored at the first round of the season, of course. Bergen then takes P2 in the AlphaTauri, who are currently watching make his outlap at the moment. And he sits on 30 points. He's up a couple of places. Maniac Mango 27, LB 26 points. Tier in the Mercedes on 24, and obviously Lawrence on 23 points. So it's relatively close for a lot of the drivers. But finally we've got a few more names on the board for points. But it's Daphne Hillis currently leading. Has to be somewhat suspected. And we'll take a look at the constructors. Ferrari are sit on 55 points. Red Bull on 49, with AlphaTauri on 41 points. Williams 28 for the Alpine outfit, 27 for McLaren, Mercedes 24, Aston Martin 23, Haas on 12 points, and Alfa Romeo on 6. So the Constructors' Championship looking still fairly open at the moment, but Ferrari have the advantage into this race.
They certainly do. As Bergen starts his lap, obviously Darth getting a massive helping of fortune last week. It looked like he would finish down in P9, P10 or so, and lose the championship lead, but a safety car from the heavens, which was caused by Pomi Alex hitting the wall, just completely turned things around, and suddenly Darth was leading the race very easily and won it by several seconds. So we'll see if he's used all of his good fortune for the season in that race. Because that could well be the case as Bergen comes into Sector 3. And I've got to say, Sumo, that helmet that Bergen's got, we haven't done a helmet review in a while, but I'm going to preemptively give that a 10 out of 10. That's a wonderful helmet.
Oh, it is, isn't it? It's very vibrant, it's purple, it's bright, it's out there, it's big, and is this lap going to be big as he comes down towards the line? DRS open, it's a 21.6, not terrible from Bergen in the AlphaTauri at the moment. Let's see who else is out on a lap. I think that's JBS Steve. Yes, he is. He's coming down the line. Let's see what he can do. It's a 19.8 and 18.6 from Womax as well. Reserve driver from last week, reserving tonight as well, and is, well, setting some decent pace out there in that Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, Mr. J-Man up to P2, 8 tenths down. Lawrence 9 tenths down on Womax, who is showing some fantastic pace, some unexpected pace, I've got to say. But Darth Nihilus coming through Sector 3 right now, so we'll see if he can get anywhere near that time. The championship leader coming through, usually very good in qualifying. Of course, couldn't deliver the goods last week in the rain. But coming up to the line now, it's looking like a 1 minute 19.1, but it's invalid, yeah, at the last corner.
That's a shame for him. A big warm welcome back to Scott, who we have not seen on the Tier 2 grid for a little while, on an APPF grid for a little while as well. He's busy maintaining the ESRL league that goes tonight 10 to frequent now and again, as Robsu out of qualifying. That's one half of the Ferrari team gone already. That could be some drama, well, it's Red Bull and Ferrari, and well, Ferrari are a car down.
That's hugely, well, difficult for Robsu. Coming from the back of the grid in Australia, that is going to be quite the slog for him. And after he, well, there's no easy way to say it, absolutely bottled a podium last week, which seemed guaranteed, he's not going to be happy with that qualifying performance. Easy place to lose it, but you can't be doing that on your first lap.
No, you certainly cannot. That's not the ideal start to this session that he would have wanted. Darth as well, he's validated his next run as well. He'll be coming into the pit, so not a great start for our championship leaders at the moment. LB's coming out on an out lap as well. Let's see what Scott can do in the Haas. He's making his way around the circuit as well. There we go, finally got my stream all fully sorted. I was trying to sort out the thumbnail while we were going, but that's a 20.8 from Scott. Not a terrible time, but room for improvement for certain. Fido Man, he made it in. He's invalidated this lap though. He'll be going around once again. Tearing the Mercedes, he's invalidated his lap as well. So who else is out? I think LB will be the next driver to cross the line. Hello to the 7 people in the stream at the moment as well. Apparently we're playing F1 2020, but 5, well, yes, 5 of you haven't liked the stream. The 5 of you know who you are. Please leave a like on the stream, subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already. And if you're in the live chat as well, feel free to strike up a bit of a conversation. We like to have a bit of an interaction during the sessions as well. It does, it does always help when there are some lower points in the session. But looking like it's some decent times at the moment, Ghost.
Yeah, it's looking decent. Womax, by the way, is serving a quali ban, but obviously isn't serving it, so he'll be disqualified. So ignore him. So Mr. J-Man is your actual pole sitter at the moment. Lawrence just over a tenth behind, and JB not far behind that. LB coming to the line now in the other Red Bull. Let's see what he can do. It's an 18.7 from LB, destroys Mr. J-Man's time, and goes on to pole position.
There we go, much quicker from LB in the other Red Bull at the moment. And as Ghost said, we must ignore Womax's time. He is serving a quali ban, so LB currently pole position at the moment. Is Tier on a lap? I think he might be. No, he's not. He's on an out lap, it seems, for the time being. I think Fido Manny had a bit of an incident on his lap, so he's coming in, and he'll be going around once more. Let's see who else has ventured out. There's Palang, big drift going through turn 4.
Yeah, it's always a tricky one, that one, to get the traction down. So you might see more drivers struggling there today, but Palang coming through now to continue his lap.
Yeah, Mr. J-Man's out on circuit as well. He's going for his second run of the evening. Other Williams as well. The drivers that were robbed last week, Ghost. Krauser and JBS Steve absolutely robbed of what should have been a 1-2 for the Williams team by, yeah, the safety car of the most controversial safety car I think I've ever witnessed in a Formula 1 event.
Yeah, Pommy Alex hitting the wall, losing a front wing, well off track, getting back on track, no problems at all, and it brings out a safety car. Honestly, that was absolutely ridiculous, that one was. The safety car is on reduced here, so yeah.
It was crazy. It should not have been a safety car, but there we go. Speaking of which, I think the Champions Edition of the F1 23, it's got Max Verstappen on the on the cover, of course, and they must have added Michael Massey as Maniac Mango now retires. He was one of the contenders from last week's race. Max has gone even faster, but we'll ignore that for now. It's a shame he's got a quali ban because he's running quite the session this evening. He's well up there. But some of the big competitors, we just lost Mango now as well. They're not here to set times, and well, Darth, he's not having a great time out there either.
He's certainly not. It's just finding it difficult to set a lap at all at the moment, which is, it's very understandable around here. Track limits are
Awful.
just awful on this track, especially turns 1, 2, and there's another one which is awful as well. I can't remember which one. Oh, and turn
7.
It's turn 8, 7 or 8.
7. It's
one.
7. Yeah, because you got 4, then 5's your fast right hander, then you're you're dropping down 2 for 6, and then 7 you sort of run that little bit too wide, and then it catches you out. And the line is going over that curb, so it's completely ridiculous that you get caught out there. Remember, it's the yellow lines that we're looking out for, not the white lines, the yellow ones. You'll be caught out completely around this circuit. As little Manny Man, he goes up into P4 with a 19.5 in the McLaren. And Lawrence now, he pips his teammate by a few hundredths of a second to take provisional pole position 4 at the time being.
Great stuff from Lawrence. The 2 Red Bulls sitting 1 and 2 at the moment. Mr. J-Man set a good lap as well, but wasn't enough to beat them two. Darth Nihilus needs to find something fast, or he's going to find himself at the back of the grid again, although it did work out for him last week as he spins at turn 12. Very easy place to do it, but he is in big trouble. 7 minutes left in this session. He's probably only going to have 1 set of soft tyres left that are fresh. So Darth Nihilus in some trouble here.
Yeah, he is. Albert Park striking back once again. And he'll be a bit frustrated with that as he goes again for good measure at turn 13. Not the session he's going to be wanting here at all. And, wow, can he set a lap time? He seems to be absolutely struggling in that Ferrari at the moment. And I think hot tyres from a couple of spins and just, well, this circuit, it really does catch out drivers who aren't really aren't giving it the respect it deserves, I think.
Yes, absolutely. But I just want to mention, Sumo, Lil Manny Man, usually sitting towards the back of qualifying in Tier 2, but here he is up in P5 with a great lap, not too far off. So well done to him, and hopefully he can stay there or thereabouts.
Tito Man setting his first lap of the session, gets himself into P8 at the moment. JBS Steve pips Little Manny Man into the top 5. Now goes the Williams driver, 19.450 at the moment. Bergen still yet to improve on his previous lap at the moment, but he's out there trying to put that right at the moment as he's making his way around. Let's watch the AlphaTauri at the moment. This is your driver in P2 in the championship at the moment, and he's looked relatively quick at the moment, but I think he's had a bit of misfortune. I'm trying to remember back to the last 2 races, but for the life of me I can't. I'm just so out of it today, to be honest. And so Yuki Tsunoda's tyre makes an appearance on the middle of the straight there.
Yes, indeed. Any tyre that's on track is Yuki Tsunoda's tyre now, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Palang coming to the end of his lap. It's not a good one though. It's going to be a 24 or so well off the pace from him. Bergen significantly off the pace, surprisingly so. Hopefully he can improve in on this lap that he's currently on. Nearly invalidates. That was very close at turn 13 and down towards the last part of the track, last couple of corners. Got to get them spot on, not spin at the final corner, which I think we'll see plenty of people do tonight in the race. We saw it in Tier 1 plenty of times, that's for sure. Across the line he comes, a 20.3. That's a lot better from Bergen, up to P8.
Yeah, much better from the AlphaTauri at the moment. Where is that Mercedes going? He's a set 1.6 second improvement, but only good enough to improve his lap time. Tito Man now out of the session. I think he's just retired. I think he's on track. He wasn't in the pit lane, but not sure.
Yeah, his TV went completely blank and grey and broke. So yeah, I will excuse him for that one. There's not really much else he could do.
Oh dear, technical difficulties for Tito Man at the moment. Darth Nihilus is back out on the circuit. Can he finally set a lap time in that Ferrari? We'll keep an eye on him as he makes his way around the track again. Little Manny Man, he's starting a lap as well. I think we're coming into the last runs of the session. We've got about 3 minutes or so left. Scott's going to have to quickly get himself in and out. I think he'll manage it with how short the lap is around here. Bergen, he's going to be tight if he wants to try and set one more. I'm not sure I'll be able to do it, to be honest. Palang has got himself up into the top 5. Not a bad lap from the Alfa Romeo at all.
Yeah, just be wary, Sumo. If Womax doesn't respond to me, I will order a lobby reset,
Yes.
so he doesn't swap the race. But Darth Nihilus, this is the sort of thing which makes a champion, Sumo. Whether you can deliver under pressure like this. He's got one attempt at this lap, and he's doing it well so far. He's just coming into Sector 3 in the final few corners. He's got to nail this and get a decent lap on the board at least. A bit on the grass on entry to the last few corners, but he's absolutely fine so far. The Mexican driver coming around the final corner. It looks like he's hooked up this lap as long as he doesn't invalidate here like he did last time. He doesn't. Down towards the line. This is looking very good from Darth Nihilus. What is it going to be? An 18.8 up to P4, and that is what makes a champion, delivering under that kind of pressure.
Yes, that's a much better time from Darth, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to go again. He might just, if he saves the battery and a little bit of tyres as well. Lots of traffic out there at the moment, heading down towards turn 3 for now, but LB now out on the circuit. Lawrence is making his way out as well in the sister Red Bull, so these two are going to look to go even quicker as well. Mr. J-Man, he's out on circuit as well at the moment in the Aston Martin. I think he's on a lap actually, so let's see how he gets on. Car number 7 making his way through. Is it 7 or is that a 1? It's a weird font. I think that is a number 7 there. Final corner from Mr. J-Man. He's been quite the king in qualifying over his time here in Tier 2. Can he continue that streak? It's looking decent. It's an 18.8. He knocks Darth Nihilus down one more place by a few hundredths of a second.
Yeah, great effort from Mr. J-Man. He's been great in qualifying last season, and he's carrying it through to this season now. He's not had a great start to season number 7, but he's looking to put things right today.
Hello, Lifebout, and I suppose a shout out for Lifebout, really, for a big happy birthday from us here at Tier 2, us comms team. I'm sure you've had plenty of them in the chat already, but we'll quickly mention you on the stream as well, because you know, it's the second birthday we've had on a Tier 2 race day. You had mine last week. It's Lifebout's this time. Who's next? That's the real question. When's your birthday, Ghost?
It's January, so not for a long time yet.
Wow, look at that. Letting us down. Perhaps you should get a second one, just like the king.
Yeah, that'll do it. I'll have that.
Yeah. Well, the history behind that is that a previous king, can't remember which one, didn't like his when his birthday was, so he decided, you know what, I'll have another one in a better time of year. And yeah, that's why the king, I suppose, has 2 birthdays. Nearly said the queen. Here comes JB. Yeah, a bit late. Here comes JB. Then we'll get back on topic. He's a 10th up on his previous. Can he get himself any further? He goes ahead of Palang, and the Alfa Romeo heads himself into P6. Palang's out on a lap. Oh, is Scott on a lap though? Is he gonna? Oh, Palang might get himself in a bit of trouble here. If Scott does end up reporting him a bit later down the line, but he's going to slip into the slipstream at the moment.
I've got to interrupt you, Sumo, because Darth Nihilus was 3/10 up in Sector 2, if you can believe it, on 2-lap-old soft tyres. He could be still a challenger for pole here. As he comes around the final corner, DRS open, absolutely pushing the car through. What can he do? It's an 18.9, and he can't improve in the end. Lost too much time at the end of the lap on those old tyres. But it's still a decent result for Darth, P4 after Womax.
Well, Lawrence is improving. He's 2/10 up through the final sector now. Womax is, I think he's finally got himself disqualified or somewhat. No,
oh, there we go.
But it does put it on to actual pole position. Does Lawrence going quicker than Womax at the moment. And I think that's going to be a lot. LB's validated his lap. J-Man is making his way through as well. No, that's not a lap.
And LB's invalidated, so that is your quali results. A Red Bull front row lockout.
There we go. What a session we've had there. And yeah, Red Bull doing a great job, a great comeback after last week's calamity, I want to call it. And Lawrence will be hoping to put right the wrongs of crashing out, but Darth Hillis at least will have some sway in this race, as he's not starting too far down. He'll be will run through the grid actually. So let's make our way through. Lawrence gets it onto pole position then for the moment. Well, not for the moment, but for the race. And then his teammate is going to line up alongside him. Remember, Womack is disqualified, so he'll be down towards the back of the grid. Then Mr. J-Man's going to be... Mr. J-Man's going to be P3 with Daphne Hillis in P number 4. Rounding off the top 5 is JB and Steve. Then we'll have Palang, Little Manny Man, Krauser, Scott and Bergen making up your top 10. Then Tier, Fido Man, Robsu, Maniac, Mango. And then, of course, Womack's at the back, rounding off the lap. And are we resetting the lobby, Ghost?
We are resetting the lobby. We are. So everyone's going to leave shortly after this. So I will get invites out and get everything sorted.
There we go. Well, apologies for the delay, but we'll get everything back up and running as soon as possible. And that'll actually give me some time to get some water and try and sort myself out. I'm a little bit lost this evening. It sort of crept up on me this stream this evening, even though I was fully aware that it was happening. But yes, we'll get everything sorted out for you as quickly as we possibly can. Well, we shouldn't be too much longer. We just got to get everybody invited back into the session. All the lobby settings redone. Hello, Fando. This should be a good one. Mr. J-Man for pole if he does not crash or spin. Well, not quite. It was a good effort from J-Man, but Lawrence pipped him to pole position, and it's no problem at all. Technical issues tend to strike at the worst possible times, and there's nothing that you can really do about it when they do decide to catch you by surprise. So don't feel too bad about that at all. These things happen. Oh dear. Right. Now, weirdly, I don't know why having a glass of water changes much, but I now feel fully ready to continue streaming this race. I don't know what it is. The mystical powers of a glass of water, everyone. Nobody knew that they even had any mystical powers until this very moment. So there you go.
4. We should have
14 if we've not got Tito back.
Yeah, 14. No, 13, I think, because we don't have Tito, we don't have Wumax, and we don't have Matthias. It's 16 minus 3, so we should have 13.
But is Wumax not racing at all now?
No, if you do a lap when you have a quali ban, you get disqualified.
Ah, there you go then.
Yeah.
Right. One of the race stewarding team doesn't even know the rules. Could be me. Oh dear.
It's alright. You're the only one who uses the rule numbers to justify your decisions. So.
Oh, there you go. Look at that.
You're in my good books.
Yeah, well, I mean, after being told off that one time, I think I think it's all ingrained now. I mean, at least I'm not. At least I won't confuse my points. I was sitting there looking at LB's responses to last week's reports. Well, the Tier 1 reports, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, something's off here. Darth was definitely not in that report. Oh dear. Oh. Gosh, it's a good thing I noticed. Right, we're waiting for one more driver, and I think we'll be good to go. I mean, guess we'll then have to set the lobby, of course. Oh, we'll set the grid even, and get everything back. But yes, it shouldn't be too long. Gosh, were we at Australia last season? I can't remember. I feel like we were. Let's see. Let me have a look at my. Calendar.
If you could help me out with the grid, Sumo.
Yes, of course. Right, let's see.
Just once Palang joins the lobby.
Yeah. Let's get this up. That should be it. Once Palang's in. There he is, there's Palang. Let's get in his car. There we go. Amazing.
Custom grids. Right. So it was Lawrence on pole, then LB.
Lawrence, LB. Then we've got J-Man.
J-Man.
Then Darth.
Yep.
Then JB.
Yep.
Then Palang and Mannyman.
Yep.
Then Krauser.
Yep.
And Scott.
Yep.
Bergen and Tier.
Yep.
Well, and then Robsu and Mango.
Yep. That's fine.
Okay. Womax has just joined back.
I know. I'm gonna kick him. Right, let me just check that grid again.
Lawrence, LB, J-Man,
Darth, JB, Palang, Lil Manny Man, Crozer, Scott, Bergan, Tier, Robsu, Maniac Mango.
Yep, that sounds about right to me.
Excellent. Right.
Right then, we're going to get racing finally once again. I think this is the second week in a row we've had to do a lobby reset. This time, no fault of Codemasters, so can't
Yes.
blame them. Although we'll see if they kick me immediately after the race when we go and move over to the interviews party. But that's not for another 29 laps yet, so we'll get going racing. Gosh, any predictions, Ghost? What do you reckon?
I'm feeling an LB victory. So
Ooh, LB, eh? That'll be something. Yeah. Yeah. I think J-Man's got a good shout this evening. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something tells me J-Man's got something under the bonnet today.
I'm going to go for a podium of LB, Darth, and Mr. J-Man.
Yeah. I'm going to go with LB, Lawrence, and Mr. J-Man, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know, I just think Darth's troubles have... I just don't feel like they're over, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong in the past.
Well, we'll see. I mean, like I said, maybe he used up all of his luck last week.
Perhaps, yeah, that was it. He pressed all the luck went in one. With one in the safety car, and what a safety car it was. And Crozer and JB will be ruining the day. That probably Alex went straight off into the gravel and got himself. I think he was beached. That was why. Was he beached or was he just off? I think he was just off. I felt like somebody got beached last week.
Can't remember. I think maybe it was Tier near the end.
Maybe.
I can't remember though.
For whatever reason, my stream's not loading. There we go. Come on. There we go. We're back to having that live. 20 seconds on the clock. Waiting. A long time waiting. Hopefully everyone's remembered their setups. That'll be crucial. Of course. I wonder if they'll change the size of the Haas pit lane, actually. I've just thought. When they put F1 23, they probably won't. They can't even get basic things right. I don't know. Hamza Darth was also lucky with the race lagging and us restarting, as he had a wet setup for the race and he couldn't change. Wow. So that.
I guess he hasn't used up all his luck yet.
I guess not. There must be some more in the tank there. But thank you for the inside information there, Hamza. It's appreciated. Let's take a look then at the tyre strategies, and once again for the third time running, everybody choosing for a different compound of tyre and split strategies for the Red Bulls. It's Lawrence on the mediums, LB's going for the soft tyres to start this race, J-Man on the mediums as well, then Darth and JBS Steve on the hard, so the top five all with a different compound more or less. Then Palang, he's on the soft tyres, Mannyman, Crozer, Scott and Bergen opting for the mediums, Tier and Robsu for the hard tyres, then softs. So the strategy's leaning toward the mediums, a couple drivers on the softs, and then four others on the hard compounded tyre, looking to go a bit longer, and one of them is Darth and Hillis. So he's going to be on a bit of a different strategy there. LB, does he go soft hard?
I mean, it would be very difficult. The hards are terrible around this track. So ideally you don't want to be on them for longer than you have to. But if LB can open up enough of a lead on the softs at the start of the race, then he can have that lead in hand and be able to hold it by the end. But we'll see. It won't be easy for sure.
Yeah, strategy for the game says soft, hard, hard. Well, soft, hard, medium, hard. So one stop possibly. Maybe LB and the other soft runners banking on that safety car coming out as well. Tando says, one man's misfortune is another man's luck. Darth can thank me later. He says in the chat. So if Darth does get lucky again, I'm a fan. Tito Man will be looking for some. What was the word I'm looking for? I've lost it. Oh, it's gone. It's gone. It was on the tip of my tongue.
I know the feel.
Credit. There you go. That was the word I was looking for. And again, it looks like we're going to get some awful camera angles. I don't know what is going on. He's always missed the start of the races in the Codemasters games at the moment. It never used to do this early on, but now we're getting these awful angles, and he can't do anything. So I'm gonna be forced to ride on board with somebody, I think. And we're going to be sat on the grid for a little while here, but I'll ride with Darth and Hillis as we go. This is the best view of the top drivers at the moment in the grid. Are underway for this race. It looks like a great start from LB. He's going to be challenging his teammate already as they make their run down towards turn one. Side by side, the two Red Bulls go now inside for LB. And here comes J-Man as well. Whoa. He's got around though. And I think he's gone straight to the wall and he's out of this race.
He's out. Mr. J-Man out the race. Although
Palang in P2, where's he come from?
Yeah, well, how on earth has that happened? I do not know. But LB and Palang lead the race on their soft tyres. Mr. J-Man out the race. There goes our podium predictions. I'm not quite sure what happened. I was riding on board with Darth, but it looked like Mr. J-Man and one of the Red Bulls both went wide, and J-Man ended up making contact and going into the wall. So, yeah, difficult really to call that one.
Oh, Tando, yeah, Tando had his money on J-Man. I know, I think we both cursed him. I think, yeah, we certainly did. We were back under green flag conditions, and Palang on the hunt, looking to the outside of turn 11. That's a risky place to go for a move. Thinks better of it for the time being, but he's going to strike once again. They're heading down towards turn 13 now, looking for a way through. At the moment, goes left, goes right, can't find a way through. At the moment, can the Alpha Tauri just about keep Alfa Romeo, keeping it just about on the road still. LB blocking him as best as he can. He was right in the middle of the track, so he really had to decide where to go. At the moment, Lawrence still keeping in touch as well. He's got his biggest rival, though, of Darth Hillis behind him, and that point difference between the two of them, that's going to be big at the moment. But Palang really weaving on the straight. Surely those tyres are up to temperature by now.
I think he might be just voicing on track his discontent with LB's movements on the straight towards turn 13. But regardless, it was certainly dicey down towards that corner, but LB has stayed ahead, and now he's mounting a lead on the Alfa Romeo of Palang, who's just about staying ahead of Lawrence, but those softs are going to wear down fast, Sumo.
Yeah, they are. They're going to start falling into Lawrence's clutches at the moment, and I don't know, it's strange. It's getting a lot of drivers opting for soft tyres at the moment, but they're not really optimal, I wouldn't say, as Tears having a bit of a mare at the moment. But here comes Palang. Side by side they go, turn 11 and 12. Oh, not quite, but he's going to go try and swap the outside again. But that might have compromised him now as Lawrence is getting close to the back of him. He's using so much battery, though, as Palang to try and get past LB. Looks to the inside, thinks better of it for the time being, and he's going to have no battery to fight the rest of the race with. That was a bit of a waste of your ERS there, Palang.
Certainly was. He's down to 20%, LB on 80, so he's been very calm on the use of that battery. Lawrence on 90% and Darth on 70, so Palang is going to find himself with nothing to fight with very soon, as Lil Manny Man is the first victim of the final corner, and Palang's out the race. What happened there?
I completely missed it. I don't even know what happened, but he's crashed in the same place that J-Man did, or maybe somewhere else. I was watching a little bit of a battle bit further back, and I missed that. So what has happened to Palang?
It seemed like he just went straight on. I don't know if there was a failure on his wheel, because it looked like he was turning and then it just snapped to the middle. So then it might have been a technical failure with Palang there, to just give him plenty of benefit of the doubt. I wouldn't say that was malicious, but we'll find out, I'm sure. Yeah, so that makes it a Red Bull 1-2 now. It's only a VSC, thank goodness. So we will get under green flags fairly shortly. Crows are about 2 seconds behind Darth, who's just staying within DRS of Lawrence, but he's going to find it very difficult to stay there on the hards. He's going to be looking to get a second stint where he can chase down the Red Bulls.
Yeah, he certainly is. J-Man's in the chat right now. He says he thinks Lawrence was off the track, came back and bounced into me, but he's checking the replay at the moment. So any further reports, that'd be great. Palang, if you're in the chat, tell us what happened. I didn't see it, so we'd like to know. That'd be great, but we're back under green flag once again. LB leading the way for the time being, although it might be short-lived on those softs, as Lawrence is really keeping in touch with his teammate at the moment. And I think, I think Lawrence may want to be the lead Red Bull here. I think he's running for a championship, but so is LB as well. This could be a Max and Checo situation. Before long, Lawrence already dropping well off, and look who's closing in. Crozer, he'll be looking for some retribution after last week.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a Williams double podium in the end, thanks to Womax's penalties, but Bergan's the first to get a penalty as someone's
off
lost
track.
it.
It's Scott. He's lost it at turn 5. Not the easiest corner. You can take it flat out, but you've got to be brave as you like. And well, Scott was brave, but maybe a little too brave. But he's back on the road. Doesn't look like he's got any damage that I can see.
I do have to report, by the way, Bergan running without his usual Australia setup because he forgot to put it on after the lobby reset. Yeah, there is always one, but
it's
not his fault. So he's still running decently in 8th, but he's going to be a frustrated man in that cockpit because he's going to think I could be so much faster than this.
Yeah, certainly. So LB setting the fastest lap at the moment. JBS Steve is trying to fend off Maniac Mango, who's also on the soft compound of tyre. He's closing into the back of that Williams. Well, he's not quite close enough for a move into turn 1. But he may be looking to set him up in towards turn 3, looking for a better exit at the moment. Here comes the McLaren. They're going to go side by side now. It's the outside line for car number 61 and swoops around the outside of the Williams. That was a fairly easy move.
Yeah, good patient move there from Maniac Mango, getting a good exit out of turn 2.
Oh!
No! And he spun it at turn 5. Disaster for the McLaren. He's going to have to get it going again, but Bergan drives straight through his Ghost as his McLaren teammate also gets past, as well as Tier. Maniac Mango all the way back down to 10th, and inconsistency strikes again for the McLaren driver.
Oh dear, he dropped it in Monza last week, if I'm not mistaken. It's just...
Yeah, he did. More than once.
More than once, yeah. It was quite an awful race, but hopefully he can just get himself back in and going around as well. So sad, says J-Man in the chat. It is indeed at the moment. Lawrence then...
LB! In the wall! Does he have damage, Sumo?
I don't know. It didn't look like he hit the wall. I think he just missed it, but he decided to go cut the grass rather than take the corner, and he's well off. He's not going to be happy with that. He's getting the marbles off the tyres there, and he's making his way through now. But that he's lost 2 places because of that mistake, and that could be detrimental to his race.
Could absolutely be. It's a silver platter for Darth Nihilus, that's for sure. But yeah, I was riding on board with Lawrence, so I saw the whole thing. He just dropped it under acceleration out of that corner. Just about kept it out of the wall, so well done to him for that. But yeah, like you say, lost 2 positions and 3 seconds or so of time. And clearly those softs are starting to drop off.
Yeah, clearly there's not a lot of grip, and those couple last corners, they are tricky on the traction there as well. Trying to get the power down is very hard, and you've always got to rely on your gear changes really to get the traction that you need through turn 16. That's the best way. You've got to really short shift through that last corner to try and get the best grip possible. But it's opened up a little bit now, although Robsu's on the hunt at the minute. He's hunting down Krauser on those hard compounder tyres, but he might struggle for the time being. LB, can he get back in touch? He's just under a second now. He's at 9/10 behind. He's not going to have DRS on this occasion, but he'll be close enough down the next straight. So this could be a battle emerging here between LB and one of the Ferraris. And Robsu, by the way, he started at the back. He's now currently in P5. What a start from Robsu. He's up 7 places after his crash in qualifying.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it's a fantastic recovery from Robsu after his disappointing quali, and he's already catching Crozer, looking to get past, despite being on the worst tyre. So I think it's less about the mediums starting to drop off, because they won't be yet. It's more about Robsu just having very, very, very good pace. And if we have a safety car at some point, don't count that man out for the win.
Yeah, of course, and I think with a track like this, I think a safety car is inevitable almost. Although we're already down 2 drivers, and we've only had 2 virtuals at the moment. But here comes Rob Su, open up the DRS. He's not going to be close enough on this occasion, though, down towards turn 13. But it's all about setting him up. He's going to try and find the place where he can get past Krauser at the moment, and I think Krauser will put up a decent fight to try and keep that position. LB still on the hunt as well. He's closing in on Daphne Hillis at the moment. He'll be trying to make his life difficult, trying to help protect his teammate. But Lawrence, he's got a grip on this race so far. He's 2.3 seconds up the road, and those hard tyres really showing themselves not to be the best choice of tyre. But that will change when the strategy starts to come into play.
He does much better second.
Very static he goes.
Oh, am I? Sorry.
Yeah.
Any better?
That's better, much better.
There we go. Okay, so, yeah, Scott with a 3-second penalty in the meantime, but yeah, LB going to be looking to slow Darth down here by giving him a battle. Just go side by side with him in a few corners and it'll cost him a second. So that'll be the plan for the Red Bulls as LB nearly hits the wall on the straight leading down towards turn 11. We've got yellow flags. I'm not sure what that's for.
Scott again.
Scott spinning in at the same place, actually, unfortunately for him. But yes, LB right behind and Robsu right behind Crozer as well. These 2 battles, the best ones on track at the moment.
LB had a bit of a poor exit out of turn 13, just a little bit cooked it a little bit too much on the exit, and some wheel spin meant he had a bit of oversteer on the exit, so just about keeping it for the time being. And here comes Robsu. He's very close to the back of Crozer. This could be a move for P4 at the moment. He's going to close in, pull to the inside, thinks better of it though for the time being. Going to look for the better exit through turns 1 and 2. Fairly equal though, but there's Robsu, a much better run as he goes along. It's going to be the outside. The Williams will defend the inside line, of course, leaving as much space as possible. That was very respectful racing between the 2. Crozer really making it difficult for the Ferrari to find a way past at the moment. This is a great battle.
Great defending that from Crozer, keeping the Ferrari behind and not using too much ERS to do it either. Still a disadvantage between the 2 of them for Crozer's battery life, but Robsu using some on the run down towards turn 11, so Crozer could still be fine at this rate to defend for a couple more laps. LB is dropping off Darth. Those softs definitely coming to the end of their life now.
Yeah, that was a lovely bit of defending. He sort of just put the car in the right place, made sure he knew where the Ferrari was, and he knew that the Ferrari wasn't going to make a decent move on him at the moment, but he's all over him right now, and it might only be a matter of time. And here he goes, has a look to the outside of turn 15. That's brave. And now it's the outside of 16. They're going to go side by side through. Robsu knows he's got the pace to go through. They're going to emerge, but Robsu just behind now as well. He's going to be very close to the back though. His attempt could have compromised his run into towards turn 1 at the moment, and it looks like it has. He's going to try the same thing again, going to try and get the better exit through turn 2 at the moment, but Crozer is just doing a great job. He's using that tyre to good effect, and he's keeping that Ferrari at bay.
Yeah, it's a fantastic job from Crozer with his ERS. Lil Mannyman, by the way, spinning it at the final corner. The second victim of that corner so far today. I'm sure there will be more. As LB into the pits for a set of medium tyres. Surely he's not looking to take them to the end, Sumo. That would be crazy. 19 laps on the softs around this track. It's, I mean, he'll be screaming at the end. It's puncture territory.
Yeah, I think he's banking on a safety car. That would be my best bet. Yeah. And I wouldn't put it past him. It's a likely event if it does come out. And yeah, I mean, he'll be hailed as quite the guru if it does pay off. But we'll have to wait and see. Tando says JB Steve is having a quiet time. If he keeps it clean, maybe P4. It's a possibility, or he hopes he's not cursing him. I don't know. Yeah, JB's not having too bad of a time at the moment. He's just there. He's sat there having his own race. He's not really that close or that far away from anybody, so he's not doing too badly at the moment. 11 people now watching in the chat. Make sure you do leave a like on the stream. Here he goes.
Interrupt you, Sumo. Here comes Robsu. There's quite a difference in wings between these two, but Robsu capitalizing on the mistake from Crozer. Just about enough space left from the Williams. It's great defending. Robsu trying to go all the way down the outside of turn 4, but he can't do it. And Crozer keeps the position. Fantastic stuff from the Williams, and Robsu is getting sick of the sight of that Sofina rear wing.
That was fantastic racing between the two of them on the very limits. And Robsu's coming again using the ERS. He's trying to find a way through. This Williams is putting that car in all the right places to keep the Ferrari behind at the moment. And it's going to be side by side perhaps through 11 and 12. Not quite though. Robsu looking again to get a better run on the Williams now. They run down towards turn 13. DRS open on the Ferrari. No way through for the time being. At the moment, he's going to have to try and set him up again in towards turn 3 or maybe turn 1 as well. We'll see. Can he launch an attack into turn 15 again like he did a couple laps ago? Not quite. Although he stays very close under braking and a little bit deep there from Krauser as well. That put him a little bit out of shape. And here they go then. It looked like a better run through 16 for Robsu. But Krauser, he's just got a bit more straight line speed than that Ferrari, I think.
Yeah, definitely. There's a huge wing difference between the two. Robsu's so much faster in the corners, but Crozer has so much straight line speed that it's so difficult to get past him. And Robsu just cannot find a way through at the moment. Crozer, like you say, putting his car in all the right places, defending fantastically well, and trying to maybe get a podium if LB has got the strategy wrong.
Yeah, and this is the only real battle on the circuit at the moment. Everything else is sort of opened up. There's gaps, although LB closing in on Bergen, who is lamenting on his preset strategy, it has to be said. But Robsu making a great show at the moment and is showing us why he deserves to be toward the front here at the minute. But Krauser doing a great job. He's getting his elbows out. This is a lot of fun for these two, I'm sure. And Robsu coming down again. DRS open for another time here on this Ferrari. Can he get any closer? He thinks about it, has a little look to the inside. No way through for the time being, but he's still so close. These two are inseparable.
Yeah, it's fantastic racing between these two at the moment. Robsu just staying respectful, not going for anything rash, and Crozer leaving in the room when he does go for an overtake. It's brilliant stuff. This is what we like to see in racing in APPF1. This kind of respectful but very exciting battles. And it's great to watch as LB going for the move on Bergan up towards turn 1. I think that move is going to be done. Yes, it is before the corner. So LB up to P6 and setting the fastest lap in the process.
Yeah, that'll be crucial for his strategy, getting past Bergen. He's going to have to try and set some fast laps now. Maybe close in on JB now, but he's got some clear air for the time being. Someone who doesn't have clear air, though, Robsu's still behind this Williams, not having the easiest time getting through, but Krauser is doing everything right to keep him behind for the time being. Down they go again. Fairly well, the advantage goes to Robsu on ERS, and again Krauser, he's not making it easy for him. He's sort of putting his car right in the middle of the track, and you could see Robsu deciding whether he should go around the outside, stay behind, or maybe make a dive up the inside of 11, and he just thought better of it. Car number 8 not having the easiest time at the moment as we ride along with the helicopter.
Lawrence in.
At the minute. Lawrence is in the pits as well, so our leader is now in.
Yeah, he's going to be going on the hard tyres. And where is he going to come out? He's going to come out just behind these two, but whether he comes out ahead of JB is going to be crucial. Can you see him on the right-hand side? Yes,
there,
out the pits he comes.
On the left for me, he's just out ahead of JB, but only just. Oh, cold tyres though might go. Here comes JB. He's going to have a little go, I think, in towards turn 3. He may as well. Nothing really to lose. Sparks flying off the back of the Red Bull, but LB, well, not LB, Lawrence just keeping it ahead for the
Whoa,
time
mistake
being.
from Crozer. Here comes Robsu down towards turn 7, side by side, and Robsu finally through on the inside. A mistake from Crozer on those aging medium tyres through turn 5, and that was the invitation Robsu needed. But look at the straight line advantage that Crozer has. He's right behind Robsu and could have a move in towards turn 13. With the DRS, he backs off on approach to 11. So I think Robsu's going to keep this position, but for how long if Crozer's got this straight line speed? And here he comes, look at that advantage he's got, so much lower wings,
what a run.
Goes for the dive bomb nearly, but Robsu stays ahead.
God, that was an audacious little send there from Krauser, and it almost paid off, but he backed out just in time as well. I think he might be coming in this lap perhaps, the Williams.
Yep,
yes, there he goes. Into the pit lane he comes, and that was a tremendous little battle, and I hope it can continue. But we've got another one emerging here with Lawrence, JB, and LB, who's caught up to JB very, very quickly on those medium tyres, and has got some great pace under him at the moment. Hello, DTS Ayrton. It's nice to have you back in the chat. Saying you just saw the CPC ESRL Baku race. It was chaos at the end with rain. Oh. I don't think I was there for that one. I was invited, but I couldn't make it to commentate for that one. But damn, sounds like I missed quite a good race.
I did not have the greatest ending to that race, so we'll push it under the rug. Just help into turn.
Very staticky again, Ghost.
Sorry?
Very staticky again.
Oh gosh.
Lots of feedback.
Sorry about that. Don't know why that's happening. But LB right behind JB.
Here he comes down the inside. Ghost is cut out there for a second, but that was a fairly clean move from LB. Not much of a defence put up from JBS Steve in his Williams. So clearly he hasn't got the same make my car as wide as possible button as Kraus has got at the moment.
Yeah,
Fernando button, we call it.
They'll be getting through up to P4. 2.7 seconds behind Lawrence. That's, I think Scott's gone again at the same corner in Sector 1. So unfortunate for him, he's just languishing at the back, and I'm sure he'll let Darth through with the blue flags. But look how much time Robsu lost battling with Crozer. 13 seconds behind his teammate.
Yeah, that is a lot of time there, and Darth in a bit of a no man's land at the moment, and he's going to be running as far as he can. I'm sure he'll be coming in the next couple of laps, though.
Oh, and Scott's gone again.
Mediums. Oh, Scott, not again.
Yeah, turn 12 caught him out. So he's not having a good time there. I do wonder if he's got rear wing damage or just maybe just a skill issue, but no, he races with no assist and cockpit cam. It's
it's a tough
fair
one.
play to him.
Yeah, I've raced in cockpit cam maybe twice, and trying to tell what's going on around you, very difficult actually. Very difficult indeed. It's all about knowing the positions of the car. Whoa, what's happened there? Someone just went straight to the wall. That's Matty Man. I saw that looking back on the stream. I was watching their battle and I saw a car flying off. He's got no ring. He's lucky to be in this race still.
Yeah, he certainly is. Through Sector 2, the same corner, turn 5 again, catching a lot of people out. And after it caught me out on Sunday, I can understand why. So yeah, it's very, very tricky corner once the tyres start getting worn, because it can catch you out when you're least expecting it. So little Manny Man going to have to limp back to the pits and put on a set of, I think, medium tyres to the end should suffice. LB about 3 seconds behind his teammate on those medium tyres, but they're 7 laps old. He's got to do another 12 laps, 12 and a half laps on those tyres. He's definitely going to be in puncture territory if he tries to get those to the end, Sumo.
Yeah, he is, and I just wonder what his plan is going forward. I'm not sure how likely a safety car is at the moment, considering the nature of the race. Yeah, it would be nice for the drama, Fando, but I'm not sure how likely it's going to be. I think, does LB Oh, Darth's in. That's a shame. I was going to say, does he try and come in before Darth to get a set of fresh mediums on? But it's a bit too late now. And let's see, where are they going to come out? I think they're going to both jump him into pits.
Yeah.
And Lawrence is actually closing in on Robsu, who's also yet to pit at the moment. There's Darth. He's exiting the pit lane now. LB's there. I think he's just a bit too far back.
Yeah. That's a surprise. Darth going to be on cold tyres, so maybe LB can launch an attack in the first sector. But Lawrence now just behind Robsu, though. So Robsu's going to try and hold him up to help out his teammate, I think. So Ferrari and Red Bull duel at the moment as LB tries to do the same to Darth and get past him up towards turn 11, I would have thought.
Yeah, I'd have thought so. LB's going to try all he might as well, and he's going to have the tyre advantage here, and he's looked like he's had some pace. He's going to put the pressure on Darth now as well, closing in on the back of the Ferrari. No way through for the time being. They've got a blue flag car as well to try and navigate their way around, but I'm sure that McLaren will get himself out of the way, and he just has as well. So well done from Little Manny Man, I think that was, to get out of the way of this epic battle we got going on here. We got both Ferraris under duress. They're both being accosted by the Red Bulls, whipping out the big words, Ghost. It's getting exciting.
It's great stuff. Tier is still out, as well as Robsu, of course. Is Robsu going to come in, or is he going to hold up Lawrence? No, he's going to hold Lawrence up as long as he can, and he's doing a great job of it at the moment. But here comes LB now with the DRS on Darth. Obviously 8 laps older tyres, so it's going to be a struggle to keep on board, but if he can get past the Ferrari, he's going to have a great shot at doing it, and he does, down the inside of turn 1. LB makes the move. He's going to have DRS up to turn 3 as well, because the double DRS zone, and what a move from LB. Very, very important.
Yeah, it was, and if it wasn't for that double DRS, Darth might have had another go at him, because he looked like he had a much better exit than LB at the moment. But LB, of course, is going to have to come in again. So his job now, hold up Darth.
Yeah, absolutely right. And don't forget about Crozer as well, because Robsu still has to pit. And will he come out behind Crozer? It will be close. I think at the moment Crozer will be just behind Robsu after the Ferrari comes in the pits. So that's just how much the Williams was holding him up. But here comes Darth now on the run to turn 11. Nearly hits the back of LB, goes onto the grass in a little bit of a moment on exit of turn 11. And loses the momentum, and here comes Lawrence as well on Robsu. It's all happening between these two battles, Sumo. Very crucial battles going on. Robsu holding up Lawrence just as he needs to do for the Ferrari strategy, and he stays out again, and Lawrence is going to be starting to get very annoyed, because that means LB and Darth are both catching him.
Yeah, you know what, I remember a couple of weeks before the season when the teams were announced, I remember looking at her through the driver pairings and thinking, Robsu and Darth, Lawrence and LB, this will be a spicy team battle, I suppose, and it is. This is what I was expecting to see: Red Bull and Ferrari going nip and tuck with one another.
Oh, Darth
at the
hit
moment.
the back of LB! Darth brake too
Oh!
late into turn 3. There's contact. LB's round. Darth will definitely be getting a penalty for that, I'm sure. 3 seconds to Lawrence, though. So the best he can do now is just try and keep the pace up. Keep the 5
Here
second
comes
gap
Lawrence.
for LB.
He's closing in as well. He's looking from the inside now. They're going to go side by side on the way down to 11 and 12. This could be spicy between the two of them. It's going to be possible. And Red Bull straight through. That was a great move. It was brave. It was audacious, and it's got him into P1.
Yeah, great stuff from Lawrence. Robsu's going to come back with the DRS, but Lawrence defends the inside. Can Robsu hold it around the outside?
Ooh.
No, he can't. Great defense from Lawrence. Very, very close between the two, but Lawrence has done what he needed to do, although he's lost about a second to Darth in the process. Robsu will surely be coming in the pits now. Yeah, there he goes in the pits as soon as Lawrence has passed. He's done what he needed, what was required of him. He's been Sergio Perez today. And in the pits he comes. Is he going to come out ahead of Crozer? That's the question. As Darth now, 2.5 seconds to Lawrence, 9 laps to go.
Crozer coming on the final corner now. Let's see where he is. Look on the left-hand side of your screen. You can see a Ferrari emerging just behind the timing tower. And Crozer, well, he's close, but he's not close enough. But the warmer tyres could see an advantage given to the Williams. Let's see if he can close in on Robsu. He's on fresh mediums, which won't take too long to warm up. I'd have thought they'd have been warm about the time they get to 7 or 8, I'd have said. And actually, Crozer, I don't think he's really close enough to launch a meaningful attack.
Yeah, no, Robsu's just about safe from the Williams, which he'll be very happy about given the struggle he had to get past in the first stint. But Crozer still having a very good race in that Williams, a comfortable P5, his teammate nowhere near, and Bergen a little way off as well. That's another McLaren spun at turn 12. Not a good day for the Papaya outfit, as none of the top 6 have any track limits penalties, Sumo, which I think is very impressive.
Yeah, it certainly is, and I'm sure it's only a matter of time before at least one of them gets a penalty, I think. But we'll wait and see. But still, JB still is in no man's land at the moment, just chilling. He's happy to go. Scott's gone at turn 2 this time, so he's added another corner that he spun at to his collection of spins this evening. But I think Scott's just happy to be here at this point. As Darth, he's closed up on Lawrence.
He certainly has. He's in DRS range now of that Red Bull. He knows he's probably going to have a 5-second penalty to contend with. So whether he can... it may have been a bit of a dirty, calculated risk from Darth to take out LB. But no, I don't think he's like that. Just unfortunate that seems to have worked out for him. But he's right behind Lawrence, and he knows he's going to need to pull some time. But if the longer Lawrence can hold it up, the less chance he'll have. And a bit of a mistake again through turn 11 from Darth is definitely going to help out.
Yeah, I noticed through 6 and 7 he got very. He took a fair bit of grass actually to make his way through. That was quite brave of him. At the moment, DTS Ayrton, it says Robsu can take a podium here. He could close the gap fast. Yeah, he could possibly. Yeah. And LB, of course, he's still got to pit. And I wonder if it's going to be any time now. Is he goal hanging for a safety car? Perhaps is that what he's doing?
I think he's goal hanging in, desperately hoping not for no puncture, Sumo. Yeah. I think that's more likely. Like 23 or 29, he's still got to do another 7 laps on those tyres. Absolute nightmare. Robsu sets the fastest lap, and LB could drop out the top 4 here because Crozer's not that far behind.
Darth very close. He's putting the pressure on Lawrence, but Lawrence is making that Red Bull as wide as he possibly can. And these two, they are championship rivals, really. And if it wasn't for last week's crash, Lawrence may have had a win under his belt last week, but we'll never know really after that insanely lucky safety car. But he'll be looking to try and come back. He'll be hoping that he can keep Darth either behind or within penalty range. So when he does get that penalty that's coming his way, he'll go through. And Darth trying to find a way through, no way through at the moment. Oh, very deep from Lawrence though.
Yeah, just trying to keep Darth at bay. Darth spun! He's spun around. He's in the wall.
Damage.
Damage to the Ferrari. Disaster for Darth Nihilus. As he's going to have to get back on track. LB's coming round, and he's passed. Robsu's coming round as well. He's going to get past his teammate. Could Crozer get through as well? Darth just about back on board now, and on the racetrack, but he's into the pits. He's going to have to repair the damage, and he's going to drop all the way down to P7 at least.
Oh, he'll be kicking himself for that one. I'd said it before the race goes. I didn't think Darth's troubles around this circuit were over, and I was right. That's going to invite JB into the top 5, and it's a very, very slow wing change. I think Bergen and Tier might get themselves past as well. They are. So keeps LB possibly on the podium, but that puncture could well come, and actually a 5-second penalty, that's going to make his life even worse. But maybe not actually. With how far the others are behind. I think everyone else is a lap down, so Darth is actually last place in terms of the places that matter.
Indeed, although I'm sure he'll get past Tier and Bergen, but both of them have got 3-second penalties as Scott goes around again at turn 12. But yeah, the track limits penalties for both of those two. But if Darth does indeed get a 5-second penalty, he has to pull 2 seconds on them in order to to gain the position. So disastrous race for Darth Nihilus, and his luck is out, Sumo, finally, as Robsu now closing on the back of LB. That struggling Red Bull on those aging medium tyres is going to really find it hard, as Darth gets a penalty as well. It's bad to worse for the championship leader. But yeah, here comes Robsu, and I think we're going to have a spicy battle at 4P2 towards the end of this race.
Yeah, I think so as well. It may be short-lived, but we've only got a few laps left at LB. He'll be crossing everything in that cockpit. He'll be hoping. Scott's out! Scott's out! He's in the pit lane, no. In the pits. So sensible from the from Scott there in the Haas. But following procedure to the letter, LB is meanwhile continuing to hope, to praise. Gonna have to massage those tyres to the end. He's gonna have to channel his inner Sergio Perez and really whisper to those tyres as they go through. And there goes Robsu. He's getting himself past the back marker there of, I think that's Mango, or maybe it's Manny Man. It's one of the McLarens. I can't see the colour of tyre because of the transparency of the Ghost. But oh, I don't know. Is it puncture time? We've seen it here before. Not here, but remember Japan. Lawrence, puncture. Awful.
And that puncture could have lost him the title in the end as well. I can't remember how many points he lost and how many points he was behind, but it would have been a lot closer for sure. As here comes Robsu now with the DRS, half a second back on LB, 4 laps to go. LB is going to find it extremely difficult to keep this Ferrari behind as Mango sets the fastest lap, and there's a battle between the McLarens here. The two of them right together. They're both lapped, but it doesn't matter. They're still racing for position as they go down towards turn 3. Mango with the DRS around the outside of his teammate. Lil Manny Man's going to fight it. No, he backs off, lets his teammate through, and Mango up to P9.
We have action from the back of the grid there, and Darth, meanwhile, he's setting fastest laps now. He's putting the pressure on Tier and the Mercedes. Can he find his way through? At the moment, time will tell, but looking very quick is Darth after coming in, but he's not got a lot of battery left to use. Meanwhile, his teammate, he's got a bit of a monkey on his back after dropping it last week, and Robsu really got to try and at least get P2. That'll be his target here for now. LB is going to make it as hard as possible, but the more he fights, the more those tyres are going to start screaming at him, and the more likely a puncture comes. And if it was to come at the wrong moment, it could cause quite the incident, I'd have thought.
It really could. It's too late for a safety car now as Darth down the inside of Tier on turn 11. He's made the move, and he's got no ERS left though, and Tier's going to have the DRS. But so is Darth. Tier's going to fight it, though. He's not going to let this go down the inside. But Darth breaks much later on that softer rubber. And he's through as Robsu gets past LB. Down towards turn 1. Easy pass for the Ferrari. LB really struggling for straight line speed, it seems, in that Red Bull. And Robsu up to P2. I think it's the sort of position his race deserves at this point.
Yeah, I think so. He's had an exceptional race out there and has been doing so well. He started toward the back of the grid. I think it was about P12 or so, Robsu. And yeah, he's definitely been on quite the comeback. And I think he'll be our strong candidate for driver of the day today as Darth Nihilus, the other Ferrari. He's getting close to the back of Bergen in at the AlphaTauri. Although LB actually, he's still there. He's making his presence known, but he's dropping back quickly.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to fight that, I don't think, with those mediums that are going to be in puncture territory any minute now. So LB is going to be praying to the tyre gods as he continues his run. But if something does happen, Crozer could find himself onto the podium again, as here comes Darth on Bergen round the outside for turn 11. He's going to make it stick. Yes, he is. Maniac Mango's out the race. In that McLaren. I think he'll get classified. Actually, no, he won't. He's a lap down, so unfortunate for him. But Darth up to P6 and just trying to recover as best he can.
Well, that was insanely close between Darth and Bergen. Now, I thought there was going to be contact for sure. It looked like there might have almost been, but that was very dicey going around the outside of turn 11 there. But he made it stick, and credit to Burden for giving him the space to make his way around. So we eagerly watch then LB in the I was going to say in the mediums, in the Red Bull, uh, will those mediums make it? He's got 1.5 laps to get to the end. I want to know the tyre percentages, and I hope he does finish on the podium, because we'll get to ask him that at the moment. But Krauser, he'll be licking his lips there. He'll be thinking, oh, LB's been on those tyres for a while. Well, come on, get yourself a puncture, lad.
Well, Krauser just gained 2 seconds on him in about a lap. So it's certainly not over on track, even if LB doesn't get a puncture. Darth, by the way, he went for that move because he knew it was important. If he does get a 5-second penalty, I think that's why he went for it. It's such a difficult point to make a move. He's just got to gain 2 more seconds on the last lap, and he'll be safe from dropping to P7. And he'll have the fastest lap as well on those softs. So still a decent recovery, but not a good race for Darth today, as LB has 1 more lap to navigate, as Lawrence still leads the race. I mean, we haven't seen him for a long time, Sumo, but he's controlled this race absolutely beautifully.
Yeah, he has. My eyes are glued to the gap between Krauser and LB. It's 2.7 seconds. He is cruising. He's barreling down towards that Red Bull. He knows he's got a podium on there, and he's really pushing for it now. It's 2.2 the gap, 2.1. It's 2 seconds. It's 1.9. This is going to be insanely close. LB, I'm sure he's got one eye on that gap as well. This could be to the very end of the line stuff. This could be a drag race all the way to the line, and LB's pushing now. That he's using as much battery as he can. Krauser's not got a lot in the tank, but we've seen Krauser. He's got so much speed around this track, so much straight line speed. This could be very close between them. 1.2 is the gap now at the moment, and LB has got one man to think about. Lawrence is though going to come around the final corner, down the final straight for the final time to win the 3rd round of the season. That's 2-1 between him and Darth at the moment. Robsu in 2nd place. He's going to come home. A great race from the Ferrari driver, but here it is, the battle between the two. Krauser, can he get past LB on the final lap? I don't think it's quite close enough between them, but it was a good effort. LB just getting himself on the podium with Krauser P4 and P5 for JBS Steve. A great day at the office for Williams, it must be said. And Darth Nihilus, he crosses the line for P6. Not his best performance. Bergen 7, Tier 9th. And in the 2 McLarens as well. That got exciting towards the end there.
It certainly did. 1 more lap and Krauser would have been on the podium. Also Darth did manage to pull the 5 seconds on Bergen, so he will retain P6 even with a 5-second penalty. So he'll be pleased about that. I'm sure he probably knows a penalty is coming, or well, he probably thinks one is coming. So he's done well to recover, but he'll be wanting to forget this one in a hurry, I think.
Yes, I think so. Right, let's move over to the chat for the interviews now, and we'll get ourselves on as with those. Let's move over. Please don't kick me out of the game. Don't crash game, please. I don't need... There we go. It was a great race, Fando, and it's a shame that your TV decided it wasn't going to be living anymore. And I hope you get that sorted as quickly as possible. But Lawrence then is going to be your winner for this evening. A great race from the Red Bull driver. He started on pole and he finishes the race on the top step as well. So a grand slam for the Red Bull. It's Robsu then P2 after a great race. Started P12 and P2, and I think there'll be no arguments in giving him driver of the day for today. LB rounds off your podium, then the tyre whisperer of tier 2, clearly getting those tyres to the end, but only just as Krauser comes home P4, about 4, I think it was about 4 tenths or so behind him. It's JB running off the top 5 with Darth, Bergen, Tier, Little Manny Man and Mango rounding off your finishers with Scott, Palang and J-Man not finishing the race. And actually Mango was classed as the DNF, never mind. But yeah, 9 drivers finishing, and those are, yeah, that's your grid, that's your race, that's your Australian Grand Prix.
Well, what a race it was. Very much enjoyed that. But Yeah, it's a well distance at the end, but LB whispered those tyres to the end of the race. Somehow, no puncture for him. So
Somehow.
well done to him. And we're just waiting for them to get in the party to do their interviews as Lawrence comes in.
Certainly
Yes.
are. There's Lawrence. Then we got Rob soon. Wait, one more. Oh, it's 3-0 3-0 Arsenal. That's what we like to see.
Oh, lovely. Against Leeds, right?
Chelsea.
Oh, Chelsea. Oh dear.
I would not want to be a Chelsea fan.
Can you imagine if they got 3 fewer wins, they'd be in relegation battle now.
Oh my god.
That would be very funny, but yes.
Oh dear. Well, I think we've got everybody, and I'm sure everyone's got their party settings all ready. But if you've not, make sure your voice is able to be heard on the stream, of course. But I'll get things started. Lawrence, it's nice to have you back in the interview party. It was quite the week to forget last week, and well, walk us through your race then. It was pole to flag.
Yeah, it was. Oh, sorry, I was a little bit of noise coming through my end there. Yeah, it was quite a decent quality lap. I thought I wasn't expecting to take pole by. Well, I knew Womack set an invalid time at the end, really, but I wasn't really expecting to get too close to that once I saw that time. The race, yeah, I held back from LB and Palang's like first few laps. I saw those on the soft tyres and they was racing each other quite hard. I think Palang had an issue with his steering wheel, which I just read, and I was trying to save fuel massively towards the end as well. I noticed that Darth was on fresh mediums and he was catching me hand over fist, so I was just conserving as much fuel as I could through the corners and just saving the ERS for the straights to keep him at bay. And unfortunately, it looks like he had a bit of a spin behind me.
Yeah, it was quite a spin from Darth, and he had a lot of trouble all over the over the race, and I think it was something that you sort of needed to try and close back up some points after last week, and it was quite the performance out there. Was it tricky out on track at all?
Once the medium tyres were heavily worn at the end of my first stint, the last couple of laps on that was pretty tricky. I'm not sure if you caught it, but I had a couple of half spins coming up the last corner. I think I had one on the almost like a spin on the hards as well coming out the last corner. That was quite tricky once it was worn, so I just made sure I brought the car home on the last 5 laps, so I wasn't pushing at all really, just making sure I didn't lose any points like I lost points last week.
Yeah, it was a huge shame last week for that, and I think thankfully you've been able to sort of get yourself back into the mix for that one today with your second win of the season, and I think it's going to be quite nip and tuck between yourselves and Ferrari. What's your strategy going forward?
Strategy is obviously to win. I think there's still a lot of ground to make up on Darth. He's got a win after my DNF, so that's 26 points, and I think he got fastest lap last week. I can't remember. I've still got to find 26 points on him at the moment. So
I believe the gap is 5 points, or it's somewhere around that margin. It's definitely less than 10, so it's very far from over after his.
Okay, well, game on. I respect Darth a lot, and I'm sure hopefully we'll have some good close racing. I was gutted we was denied the chance to have a good wheel-to-wheel battle today. It'll come, we will have the wheel-to-wheel battle. It just seems like we just about avoid each other when it comes to. I think China was the only one last season where we was close come the end of the race. So I'm looking forward to very much having a good wheel-to-wheel battle with him.
I'm sure you will. We've got plenty more races to come of this season. So, well done today, Lawrence. Back on the top step, and hopefully you can keep that, keep any more possible DNFs as far away as possible.
Yeah, fingers crossed. It was touch and go that I was going to race today, so thankfully things panned out in my favour as well.
Yeah, you know what? I saw you did. You checked to not race, and I thought, oh no, don't let Darth get any further ahead. But I'm glad you turned up.
Yeah, you should have seen my face when I was told I didn't have to work late tonight. Kid at Christmas.
There you go.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
No worries. And yeah, speaking of battles, Ghost is going to have the pleasure of interviewing Robsu.
Well, Robsu, what a race from you! You get our driver of the day from the back of the grid up to P2, and did a fantastic job getting through the grid. And you had one hell of a battle with Crozer in the first stint there. Talk us through that.
Yeah, I mean that was a very good racing. I really enjoyed that. Fair racing and just giving space to each other. It was very, very fun. Also, I liked it. I liked it.
Yeah, it was great fun to watch. That's for sure. On our end as well. But yeah, you had a really good battle there, and then just carved your way through, just kept it together on the track, got out the pits ahead of him. But talk us through the first few laps, because you seem to just sort of... we weren't really watching the latter half because there were so many battles going on at the front, but we just looked at the standings and suddenly you were up there, up 7 positions. So yeah, talk us through the first few laps. How did you carve your way through?
Well, actually it was pretty simple. I got a very good start, and I believe others in front of me didn't get so good start, and there wasn't any hassle or sort of in front of me, so I could pretty easily actually get many places up there. And yeah, just kept it clean after that, and well, yeah.
Well, you certainly did that, and you put on a good show for us as well with that battle. So well done for keeping it clean, and congratulations on your second podium in APPF1.
Thank you.
So I will hand back over to Sumo for the interview of LB, which I think we're all looking forward to to find out what his tyres were on.
Yes, LB, or should I call you the tyre whisperer? The burning question that we all want to know: what were the tyre percentages at the end of that race?
So it was only the rear left that was a concern mainly, but that was showing 81%. So that last lap, I was just going nice and slowly about it. I had crowds gaining on me, but just timed it just perfectly enough to make sure those tyres were managed. But I tested it in Tier 1, I think it was, and it worked. So I knew exactly what I was going for in the race.
Oh, there we go. Then we were speculating on what you were up to during that race, and yeah, talk us through the rest of it. Then it was quite the racy start, but and quite the battle with Palang as well at the start there. But yeah, talk us through the race. Other than, well, yeah, just talk us through it.
Yeah, got a good start and was able to get away. Unfortunately, even though Lawrence reminded me about putting a setup on, I completely didn't put a setup on. So I went with the bog standard Codemaster setup, and the only thing I changed was the brake bias from 54 to 50. So dealing with that, I was originally like, I just want to finish like top 5 would be good. Was doing well, and then Darth decided that braking wasn't an option and slammed into the rear. And then since then it was just like managing things, because even though it wasn't showing like a darker shade of the green on the rear wing, so it just felt completely different. And yeah, just sort of, that was just managing from their damage limitation, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that was quite the incident. I mean, one minute everything was sort of fine and dandy, and the next moment, Ghost is telling me that there's been contact, and yeah, and just sort of talk us through that incident. Or is it just as plain and simple as you say, or was there a little bit more to it?
Yeah, it's plain and simple. Just I braked and he didn't brake as much as required and went into the back of me. I wasn't even braking early. I was braking at the red line because I'm a noob and have the racing line on. So I was just dealing with that, and then yeah, I saw my rear view mirror it filled with bright red, and even before he contacted me, I knew what was going to happen. I could just see it happening in slow motion. But yeah, I thought after Spain, after having a great battle and showing him respect, he'd show the same, but maybe not.
I mean, sometimes it's lapse of concentration, isn't it? We're all human at the end of the day, but standard procedure and everything, I'm sure will be followed as we go along. But no, not a bad race at all. A decent result after Monza, and I'm sure you'll be. The two of you will be all guns blazing, trying to get Lawrence on the top of that driver standings toward the end, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm mainly just going for the constructors. I quite like battling for the constructors. I think at the moment, drivers, I'm not at the pace of Lawrence or Darth, so they may be able to capitalise on their mistakes, but on outright pace, I can't battle, unless there may be like some tracks where it's different. But like even today, they just had so much more pace than me. Even when I was on the softs, I had Lawrence catching me on whatever he started off on, which was, I think he started off on the mediums, and he was able to catch me as well within like 4 or 5 laps. So yeah, I'd prefer to win the constructors. So as long as that's happening, then I'm happy.
Fair enough. Well done today. It'll be a podium by, I think it was about 4 or 6 tenths of a second, because Crozer was bearing down on you as quickly as he possibly could, but robbed once again by not being enough laps. But well done today.
Thank you very much.
All right, and that's it. That's your interviews. We've done driver of the day, of course. We've talked to the top 3, and I think there's not too much left to say on my end. How about you guys? Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything for me. Battle of the day definitely went to Crozer and Robsu. But yeah, other than that, I think that's all from me.
Yeah, big shout out to Crozer there for his part in that battle. A big shout out to all the drivers as well. Of course, everybody does their hardest here in Tier 2, and the racing is always phenomenal when it is there. But that's about going to do it then. So now, Ghost, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe we're going to be a race short now.
Yes.
We are. Because Codemasters decided to release the game earlier this year.
Indeed.
Possibly.
We haven't decided which race is going to be removed and how the calendar is going to look afterwards. But yeah, unfortunately, we do have to scrap a race thanks to Codemasters releasing their game about 2 weeks earlier than expected. So yeah, that's a big shame. So it will be a 9-race season instead of 10, but I'm sure it will still be very exciting towards the end, and I will within the next week for sure we will know what the calendar is going to look like.
Amazing. But next week we'll be going to Bahrain then for our race at Sakir, so join us the same time next week for that. And well, that's going to be everything. Thank you to everybody for tuning in for tonight's Tier 2 race. It's been a good one, of course. We've had some great battles, and we've had another win and another shake-up in the championship, which, even though we're looking like we're going to be 1 race down, should still be just as good as it always is over here on Tier 2. But that's everything from me. So I have been Sumo.
I have been Ghost.
And we will see you this time next week for some more Tier 2 racing with APPF1. Good night.
Goodbye.